Altergeist Pookery was revealed 2 years ago, believe it or not, and as of this week, we are finally getting this card in the TCG. It's in Brothers of Legend as a secret rare, alongside a few other new Altergeist cards. But none of the other Altergeist cards will change Altergeist as much as Altergeist Pookery. The Altergeist deck has always been restricted on its turn 1. You usually are just going to normal summon a monster and set some back row. The only special summoning you do in most situations would just be summoning a Link Creebo to trigger the Meloseek effect. There are cards in the game already that help you combo on turn 1. For example, 1-for-1 is pretty good, but it's limited, and Altergeist Haunted Rock is a card that some people have enjoyed playing. Personally, I never thought it was that good, so it's not impossible to combo on turn 1 in Altergeist, but it's just not very likely. However, with Altergeist Pookery, that all changes. Altergeist Pookery is a level 1 Dark Spellcaster effect monster with 300 attack and 100 defense. It says if an Altergeist monster you control would be used as link material for an Altergeist monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. You can only use this effect of Altergeist Pookery once per turn. If an Altergeist link monster is link summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use this effect of Altergeist Pookery once per duel. So this card is basically like a microcoder but for Altergeist, and that is a very powerful ability. Basically, you now can consistently summon Altergeist Hextia on turn 1. Now, making Hextia turn 1 is obviously great, but Pookery is also good because it helps chain block your Meloseek. So for example, if you open with that Meloseek and the Pookery, you can normal summon Meloseek, make Hextia, and then you have two trigger effects, the Meloseek search effect and the Pookery add back effect. Now in the past, when you made Link Creebo with Meloseek, if your opponent had Ash Blossom, that could really hurt your opening play. But with Pookery, you can go Chainlink 1 Meloseek, Chainlink 2 Pookery, and now your opponent is not allowed to Ash because the Ash can't respond to the Pookery effect. So chain blocking the Meloseek is a big deal, summoning Hextia on turn 1 is a big deal, and even if you don't open the Meloseek, it's still a good play. For example, if you have Marionettor plus Pookery, you can go Marionettor, set Protocol as you usually would, and then you can make Hextia right there. Now if you have a Multifaker in hand already, that's obviously good. You could then set up a negate with Hextia and a bounce with the Silk, but if you don't have Multifaker, you could still use the Hextia for a Protocol, and then you can add the Multifaker that way. Now, you can't trigger the Multifaker off of the Protocol that you just used, but if you have any other trap card, you can easily bring that Multifaker to the board. Now, one thing I will mention here that we missed out on in the TCG is that there was a point in the OCG when Altergeist Pookery and Link Cross were legal at the same time, so you can make Hextia turn 1 and then immediately turn it into a Link Cross to search Multifaker. You can't do that in the TCG because Link Cross is banned, but I still think Pookery is a very good card. In today's video, I wanted to show you guys some duels from last night's Twitch live stream where I finally got a chance to try out Altergeist Pookery, and I gotta say here, guys, this card definitely lives up to the hype. It is very good in an Altergeist deck. The deck in today's video is not exactly what I would play right now if I was playing Altergeist. It's basically the older version of Altergeist with 3 Pookery added into it. I know a lot of people have been asking me to update Altergeist, and I will have a deck profile in a few days here, but for today's video, the main thing is trying to showcase what Pookery can do, so don't focus on any individual card choices in my deck. I will have an updated deck profile later on this week. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the clips, and let me know in the comment section below what you think about Altergeist Pookery. Yes, okay, go first, open Pookery. That was a really weird animation. Oh my gosh, this is the best hand I've ever seen in my life. Okay, activate Extravagance, let's go. Draw 2 trap cards. Okay, pretty good. So we're going to summon Meloseek. So we're just going to go into the Hextia, and then we can actually chain block the Meloseek, which is really crazy. If Pookery wasn't good enough already, also it protects the Meloseek from getting ashed. And then we can search. Right now we already have Multifaker. Could go for Conquery, but I feel like we want follow-up, so I'm going to add Marionettor. It's a little greedy to go for a Marionettor there instead of Conquery, but I really feel like we're fine. So draw phase, we're going to activate the Manifestation. Bring back the Meloseek, which is pretty good because we can put it underneath the Hextia. So if we do use the Hextia effect, we can still add the Conquery to our hand. So normally that would not matter because we'd have a Protocol and it would just still go through. I'm not really sure how I feel about that play, but because we don't have a Protocol somehow, that actually does take away one of our negates. And if our opponent happens to have a Lightning Storm or perhaps an evenly matched This could be really bad, but we'll see how it goes. It also potentially cuts us off from our Conquery play. We could still tribute the Melisseek if we really wanted to, just to search the Conquery if it comes to that, but we'll see what he does. Special summon Ecclesia. Yeah, that's fine. The only card we can use against that is Strike, so we might as well wait for the effect anyway. Because for some reason, Ecclesia is a quick effect, Lone Fire Blossom, so don't Veiler this, don't Imperm this, stuff like that. Not really sure about normal summoning that. They don't have a card to banish. I'm not sure if they realize that. So you're attacking over Silk, trying to get me to bounce the monster so that he can special summon a Tenyi. If I don't bounce this, his only like real play is Longwan, which we do have the Imperm for. I think I'm just gonna let that go. That's fine. Which I think is crazy, maybe, but as someone that's played a lot of Sword Soul, the only reason I could see someone making this play would be if they had a Tenyi in hand. So by not bouncing it, I actually cut them off of any Tenyi cards. Okay, so that is the Pop 2 card, presumably, or one of these is. Oh gosh, if it's Imperm plus a Pop 2, ooh, that's pretty good actually. So not the Tenyi variant. Kind of a tricky spot to be in. I think we actually do have to negate this though. Okay, so nothing immediately. Yeah, I think we just kind of sneak in a Hexia here. This is kind of cool because the Pookery is not an activated effect, so you can just summon Hexia like you would using monsters on the board, so your opponent doesn't know that you're like using the Pookery, which is pretty cool. So right here, I'm assuming he has the Blackout face down, so I want to make sure that I'm protected against Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, popping Hexia, and then a Blackout targeting the other two cards. So by summoning two Hextias, I should be good right here. We can also force the Destroyer Phoenix interruption here because one of the Hextias has like 26 attack. We will go for Multi-Faker here. Because right now we just need to like deal with the DPE for the most part. He doesn't have like a lot of other cards. The Ecclesia is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So summon this, activate the effect. Getting the protocol online will be pretty good, although I don't know if this card's actually going to stick around until the end of the turn. I could see it getting popped or, yeah, I mean popped either by DPE or by Blackout. Yeah. So from here, I'm actually feeling pretty good about that. He's trading like a 2500 monster with a pop effect, and he's trading that for one of my back row cards that I can't use this turn. So I think overall that went pretty good for us. We can attack over this. He can't really Blackout us. So let's just go to the battle phase and try to force something with the Melisseek. Ooh, no response to that. Interesting. I wonder if neither of them are Blackout or if he just doesn't care. Cross out. Okay. Maybe he didn't open Blackout. I was just like assuming the worst. Worst case scenario there was that he opened Imperm plus Blackout. That was like the absolute worst case scenario. So it's good to see that that was not what happened. So hit him for this. He'll have the Ecclesia coming back to his hand, which is kind of annoying, if I'm being honest, but you know, it is what it is. I don't like banishing Manifestation ever, pretty much. I try to avoid it at almost all costs. However, in this case, I think we really need the protocol. I think that this protocol will basically win us the game, so I'm willing to do it. But in general, I really try to avoid banishing the Manifestation if I can, just because the Manifestation is so important to have in the graveyard. It's just such a big effect that I really feel it's necessary to try to recycle it a bunch of times with Silk and Prime Banshee instead of just banishing it one time to get protocol back. Especially because you do have two protocol. That's fine. So we have the Imperm for the DPE, and it's in a zone that a Spell or Trap card is in. That's a lot of value right there. And you can do that. So probably go for the Celestial effect. I think Celestial, believe it or not, is the effect that we have to negate here. This actually works out pretty nicely for us. I'm going to tribute the Meluseek, and we're going to be able to add a Pookery to our hand. This prevents him from just being able to go into the battle phase and attack us. Let's see if he has a response. If his back row isn't chainable right now, I think this will be game, actually. This is like a huge swing in value. That's fine. There's nothing super relevant he can get here. He can go for the Taia, but doesn't really matter. Activate this. Activate this. This card is locked down. I'm not sure what it's asking him. He must have like a chainable card. Oh, don't do that, man. Oh no, they must have forgot that the impermanence just resolved. I say forgot, but like it literally just happened. But I think we've all been there. We've all messed that up before. Happens to the best of us. We're gonna add Pookery. We're going to special summon the Silk. And yep, that's it. That is fine. On summon though, I'm trying to think. Yeah, if we just bounce it, I don't think he has like a way to win. You're trying to figure out like, well, what would I not want to happen if I was playing the deck? And I think if I was in this board state, I would not want the token to get bounced. If Manifestation is so important, why do you only play one? It's a do nothing card without other cards, and on turn one, it's like really bad because the most you're gonna get off of Manifestation turn one is like putting a Meluseek in grave and then reviving it, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. It's a card you want to search in your combo. You don't really care about any other point though. Oh, I definitely screwed this up. He scooped anyway. I definitely should have waited for him to attack with the DPE first to make sure that the Pookery was still on the board. So that was a slight misplay on my part, but overall, pretty good first showing for Pookery, if I do say so myself. Okay, we get to go first. Oh my gosh. Look at this beautiful hand. This is what dreams are made of, chat. Summon Hexia, turn one. Chain block the Meluseek. Add Multi-Faker. Set Imperm. Set Judgment. And of course, the best card in the game, Set Order. That beautiful ghost rare. Good luck. Oh, it's asking if I want a Judgment? Okay. Go for the Faker. Like, Pookery is crazy, guys. It really, really is. Ash Blossom. Yeah, it's probably fine. Lone Fire Blossom. We'll just imperm the Lone Fire. He'll probably pass, knowing the Aroma deck. So I might... Oh, okay. Yeah. Io is a pretty stupid card. So, you might be wondering why I didn't summon the Faker under the Hexia. It's because you're trying to summon the Silk under the Hexia, so that when you use the Silk effect, you bounce the Faker, and you can still use the Hexia negate. Cyberdarks, okay. Oh, and he's playing the combo variant. Well, this combo takes like 6 hours, so I'm just gonna press no chain and I'm gonna go grab a glass of water real quick. Let me know if anything crazy happens though. Oh shit, wait, what happened? What did I miss?